everyone, thanks so much for tuning in. My name is Monica, and in today's video we are going to swatch colored pencils, wax pastels, as well as watercolors and gouache. Now this video is a follow-up to the big art supply haul that I posted recently, and just like I assumed, many of you demanded to see the actual swatches. You asked for it and you're gonna get it. Now, this video is gonna be a long one, so I suggest you go and grab some snacks, grab some water. Me personally, I prefer coffee, but you can pick whatever you like. Now, without further ado, let's get started with colored pencils. These are the Caran Luminance colored pencils, and this sketchbook is included in Heikala's Art Box. And I think this paper is going to be perfect for colored pencils since it is smooth but with a slight texture to it. I'm gonna start with this one. This one is the Burnt Ochre, 50%, number 876. Okay. Let's try to make a nice gradient here. I don't know if you can hear this. The sound is kind of chalky. And also the feel in comparison to the polychromos or the Holbein colored pencils is a little more toothy, so to speak. Let's press a little harder this time. Oh, this feels really nice. So far, I'm really impressed. Let's actually see how this performs on a paper that has no texture to it. I don't apply much pressure and it goes on so nicely. You get a really nice gradient. Now let's press a little harder. Wow. This is amazing. Now this color I see myself using in portraits a lot. All right, let's move on with all the other colors. Ooh, this color here, it's my favorite already, I can tell. So this one is called the Ultramarine Violet, number 630. So pretty. Oh my gosh, I love this one as well. Violet Gray, number 93. And look at this. So pretty. I've been into grays lately. Now this one, the Terracotta, number 44, is somewhat similar to the Burnt Sienna, but it has more like a red tint to it, whereas the Burnt Sienna is more of a orangish, brownish tone. And this one is so gorgeous. Oh my gosh. So far, I love all the colors. Alright guys, I'm almost done swatching these. Let me get rid of this residue here. This is something I noticed right away. They leave a lot of dust, which I'm not a fan of, but it is what it is. And what I can tell you, now that I'm almost done, is I love all of the colors. I don't see a single color that I dislike. Let me quickly write down all the colors for you. Now, first off, I appreciate how even of a gradient you can get with them. What I noticed right away is that you don't need to press super hard to get a nice color output. I love the Polychromos by Faber-Castell, but I always found that the colors look a little streaky. You definitely need to press harder with them. That's not the case with the Luminance. Now, it is true that the Luminance, they leave dust on the paper, but whether this is a problem for you or not depends very much on how you use them. In my case, I don't use colored pencils for outlines or color blocking. I use colored pencils to apply a very soft texture. Now I picked 5 colors that I want to compare the Luminance to. We got 3 colors by Holbein, as well as 2 by Polychromos. And let's just see how they perform in comparison. First, let's start with the black color by Faber-Castell. It's called Black, and it's the number 9201-199. And this one here by Luminance is really black. I hope the camera can pick it up. It's really dark. Now let's do the Polychromos here. See? Notice this? If you want to be using colored pencils for outlines, I would rather pick the Polychromos. And now this, I really hope the camera can pick it up. Polychromos just seems streakier, like you can actually see the actual lines when you apply it. Also, I'm pressing a little harder here. Let's try to make a gradient. With the Polychromos, I feel like you cannot build up a lot of color. The black is less deep. Now you tell me what you like better. I still think I prefer the Luminance. Now another thing that I noticed between these two, and this is something the camera really cannot pick up, but I assure you that's the case, is if you look at it from a very certain angle, this one looks super even, whereas the Polychromos, you can see those glossy streaks. I really don't like that. Granted, the colors are still really nice. I really like the Polychromos, but so far, I'm really super impressed by the Luminance colored pencils, and I already know they're my new favorite colored pencils. Next up, we are going to try the Holbein colored pencils. We will check both Wisteria and Lilac. And I think these two come really close to Luminance Ultramarine Violet, number 630. So once again, here's the Luminance. Let's just do it really quickly. Now here the Holbein. Seems a little glossier. The feel of it, you know. Both the Polychromos and the Holbein seem to be gliding on the paper better. The Luminance, it feels chalky. However, with the Holbein, you really need to press much harder. However, I think in comparison to Polychromos, you can get a nicer gradient with the Holbein. All right, next one's gonna be Wisteria. All right, let's look at it from an angle. And oh wow, guys, I actually don't notice any gloss or sheen on the Holbein colored pencils. Now the final test I'm gonna do is I wanna see how colors blend into each other, or what it looks like when you stack them. I tried to find some dupes. Left side is gonna be Luminance, right side is gonna be Holbein. Now, what do I notice? I noticed that both look good. However, bear in mind that the Holbein colors are a little more vibrant in comparison to the Caran d'Ache. If you disregard the saturated colors of the Holbein, the gradient, in my opinion, looks more even and nicer with the Caran d'Ache Luminance. What do you think about it? Now, before we move on to the next product, let me just say how much this color here is standing out. This must be the most vibrant color I have ever seen in a colored pencil ever. It's just such a gorgeous red. The most vibrant red I could find in a colored pencil from Polychromos is this one, dark red, number 225. Let's just see how this compares to this color here. Actually, it's not that bad, is it? Okay, the Caran d'Ache one is still more saturated. Such a gorgeous color. Now, I think you can't do wrong with either of the pencils I just demonstrated to you. It all comes down to personal preference, though me personally, I still prefer the Luminance. Both Polychromos and Holbein are still amazing colored pencils. They are all high quality, and the difference between both Polychromos and Holbein is minute. The biggest difference between Luminance in comparison to other brands is that they're less creamy and more powdery. Let's continue with the Neocolor One, also by Caran d'Ache. Oh my god. Oh, this feels so smooth. It goes on like butter. And it's so opaque as well. Check this out, guys. The textures you can create with this. Oh my gosh. So vibrant. What's happening? Now this one, the Scarlet, is a metallic color. At first glance, I don't see a shimmer. Love the hue though. Okay, I just peeked at it from an angle and it indeed is metallic. Not extremely metallic. I feel it's just right. All the other colors, they are super matte, by the way. Oh wow. This one is also metallic. It's gold. I feel like this one has a slightly more green tint to it in comparison to other golds I know. It looks more like an olive to me. And honestly, I don't mind it really. These two, I think they work really well together. I initially got the new colors to just add some texture to my work, but now that I'm trying them, I must say I can imagine myself making an entire painting with them. I am really impressed. The only downside to them, as far as I know, is that the tip is not pointy. I don't know if you can go really detailed with them. Maybe if you sharpen them, but let me actually try here. I don't think you can go really detailed with them. However, like I said, that was not the purpose of them. If you want to add detail, I'd go with the Luminance colored pencils. Wow. I actually thought this is gonna get really messy, but in comparison to the Caran d'Ache Luminance, the residue on the paper, it is there, but you have those bigger grains that you can just get rid of by dabbing your finger onto the paper, and you get rid of all the dust pretty easily without smudging anything. Alright guys, I'm done swatching and I cannot even decide for a favorite color. Before I proceed to the next product, I'm gonna go and see how they blend. And I will actually do this here in the corner of this page just to save paper. Let me see, what shall I mix? Maybe, yeah, let's actually do that. So I'm gonna blend light olive and dark olive. Oh my gosh, guys. Looks fantastic, actually. Now, how about adding some orange here? Yes, I'm really impressed. Okay guys, I was so excited about the watercolors that I got, and the Neocolor one, I was just curious about them. I mean, there was some sort of excitement, but I never thought that I would like them this much. Let me know down in the comments whether or not you would use them in your work. Okay guys, the entire swatching session was really long. I got over 6 hours of recording footage, and that's why I'm gonna upload it in several parts. Next up is gonna be liquid watercolor and inks, as well as gouache and watercolors by Schminke and Daniel Smith. Make sure to subscribe if you don't want to miss out. I appreciate you all and hope that you're all safe. Thank you so much for watching, and have a fantastic day.